Hey guys, hello. Welcome back to my channel. It's me, Steven. We've got Eleanor up there, Claire right over there in bed on her cat bed on top of my bed. The entire apartment belongs to my cats. Buddy is actually in the bathtub, I think, sleeping. Yeah, so it's been a while since I filmed a video, and I do apologize. I've received a bunch of emails and messages and a couple of cards saying, hi, knock, 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 where are you? Are you doing okay? And I am, and I'm not, and I am. It's been a real slippery, weird few weeks. But the last time you saw me, I was making a video about a cat fountain, which I have fallen more in love with as this week has passed by. The cats are in love with this fountain. So, very happy with that. But I figured I'd make a little video and catch you guys up on what's going on, what's going to be coming up down the pike in June. And yeah, so let's chat about what's going on. I've been off for about a month now, a little over a month. The first 2 weeks was fine. Didn't really seem that bad. I thought it was bad. I thought I was bored. And then the last 2 weeks have happened, and I've just gone almost out of my mind. Kind of joking, kind of not. I wouldn't say I've been depressed so much, but it's been weird. I'm sure I'm not the only person in the world who thinks they're invisible, or that they really don't matter, or they're whatever, just negative, wah, 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 right? Just crappy stuff. The last 2 weeks has been really strange. I've been isolated pretty much in this tiny apartment. You see pretty much my entire apartment as it is. And being kind of trapped here alone without another human being, with my cats, who I adore, but there's a limit to really the communication you can have with a cat. I do understand my cats better than I ever have. So there's a small silver lining. We have conversations now, and they're real. They're real. I swear they're real. But I have been going a little crazy. The things I've been doing to kind of keep myself centered, I've been binge watching a TV show that I kind of hate. The Magicians. One of my coworkers, who also has a channel on YouTube, has been binge watching this series, and so I started watching it because he had been watching it. It's called The Magicians, and yeah, so I think I've watched the 4 entire seasons in less than a week. I was a little upset because he did say something about a main character, something happening in one of his videos, and it was a little upsetting because I kind of knew to expect something big for a character, and I knew who it was going to be. I knew who it was going to be, but I watched the 4 seasons that are on Netflix now. There's a 5th season that's coming out, and I really don't want to watch it because I hate the show. I've invested so much time. I hate the show. I don't hate the show. The show is really funny. The writing is fantastic. It's just the characters or the actors that portray the main characters are just irritating. They're selfish. There's no connection. There's no seeming emotional connection between them, especially the main romantic pair. I'm like, I don't feel that at all. And each of the characters is so selfish and so self-centered, but they're supposed to be closely knit, but they're not, because you can't, whatever. I'm thinking too much about it. But I've watched all 4 seasons, and I will have to eventually watch the 5th, because I have to. Although I will tell you, Morgan, if you've watched the show, she is awesome. That's my favorite character. She is the only genuine character in the entire series. I love her. Everyone else is sort of fluff. A video game. Now, I've mentioned I play video games. I haven't played Skyrim in probably 2 or 3 months. I haven't played The Sims in probably 3 or 4 months. I've been playing Fallout 4, which is this post-apocalyptic game that I've just become in love with. Everything about it. I just love the game. But it's by Bethesda, the company who made the game. And I play it on my laptop, which is not like a gaming laptop. It's just a regular laptop. So it's not the ideal device to play the game. But I don't own a television set, although I want one for Eleanor, because she does love watching my laptop. She loves watching me play a game, or she loves watching YouTube and Netflix. She'll come up and she'll sit on right in front of me with her paws on the computer. Sometimes she has successfully changed settings. But I have this fantasy of buying her a television set for when I'm back to work. But it's a fantasy. I don't have a console, like a PlayStation or whatever that thing is. So I have my laptop. Well, a problem with Windows, apparently, and Bethesda is once in a while, for no apparent reason, the game just stops working on your device. So it's not uncommon. If it won't load. The game will start. I can press play, but the minute the game is supposed to begin, it just turns off and it goes back to the main desktop of my laptop. So I've tried everything that I can think of. I've scoured the internet and I am incapable of repairing it. I've had the idea of, the thought has crossed my mind to wipe my entire computer, to reset it to a factory reset, just to see if I could download this game again and have it work. I have a suspicion that it wouldn't work again, but then I'd have to replace everything that's on my laptop, and I don't know if I'm willing to do that. Yeah, no, I won't even tell you the fantasy is to have a separate laptop just for this game. Bling! Do you know why that is? For the next 2 weeks, I'm gonna be here. But I'll start playing Civilization again or Skyrim or something just to keep myself occupied. But Fallout 4 is my favorite game, and my laptop will not play it, which is upsetting. It does feel a little bit like new sobriety, because all I want to do is this one thing. I just want to do this one thing, just a little bit. I feel like I'm addicted to this video game. Could be worse. It could be heroin, right? So this too shall pass. I will be fine. I wrote down some notes as to what I have been doing, because I tried making this video earlier and it was just like 50 minutes of me just spewing. I won't say blah, blah, blah. But it was blah, blah, blah. Also taking care of the cats. Clearly one of my, clearly part of my destiny is to become a crazy cat daddy. So just taking care of my cats, making sure they've been fed, making sure that they're playing. We have enough playtime during the day that they're having a good time, they're healthy. But there's a certain amount of playtime that becomes really fatiguing to me. It's like, all right, after 40 minutes of playing with this stick, okay. So taking care of my cats, and taking care of Diana when I can. There's that whole little group of cats that is out by the parking lot, which is around where Bowtie usually sleeps. I've been feeding them too. So that's been nice. I've actually, they have kind of become a little bit more relaxed around me, so I can actually approach them with a little bit of food, where in the past they used to scatter. Now they will kind of wait and see what's going on, because they might recognize there's food coming, you know. Let's see. What else am I talk to you about? I made some notes. Let's see. Oh, what has my day been like? What is my day during a pandemic look like? Number one, I don't know how anybody has all the energy to bake. All these people who are making sourdough and all sorts of crazy things, I don't know how they find the energy. My energy and my motivation and my will has been sucked out of my body by ennui. That's the perfect word, ennui. It's French for this thing that's not quite boredom, but it's just this ennui. Yeah, so my day, I wake up about 5:30. The cats wake me up about 5:30, 5:45 for their morning snack. I give everyone their snacks. Buddy goes out for his little walkabout, his little sojourn about the neighborhood. And I get back in bed and I go to sleep. About 8:30, 9 o'clock in the morning, he has had plenty of time outside. He lets me know. All he has to do is go, meow, and I wake up out of a dead sleep and let him in. I get back to sleep. I go back into bed. And I sleep, these days, I've been sleeping for 11, 12 hours. Yeah, if not more. I'm practically a cat myself. I'll eat a bowl of cereal. Cereal has been my go-to meal. Again, I don't know how anybody has the energy or the willpower to cook. I think I've made 4 different real meals with my Instant Pot. So I've been able to eat like 3 or 4 times out of each meal, but I really haven't been cooking. I don't know how anyone has the willpower to do that. Maybe if I lived with somebody, but the cats don't care if I eat cereal every day, right? I share everything with you. What else do I do? Play a video game. I play Fallout 4 like 4 hours a day, I mean, or more, but I can't do that anymore. And then watch Netflix when I'm in bed, and then go to sleep and do it all over again. Again, time hasn't really passed so much. It's become sort of a jello mold. It just feels like time is congealed into this mass. Yeah, that's it. That's my day. That's my day. I wish I were more productive. I've done some things around the house. I've cleared some areas up that were kind of messy. There's one area at the end of my bed, which is a pile of just bags and clothes I haven't worn forever, and just a whole assortment of stuff that I just have to find a place for. But my apartment is so small, it's hard to find a place for it all to go. So today I went to the post office because I knew I was expecting a package. You know, I just want to show you this box. It's hysterical that I knew the box would come in this big, but it just seems sort of startling. This is how the planet is eventually going to end. It's going to be covered in packaging. Look at this box. Wait, it's more. That box for 2 of these. Oh, it's a thin metal rod. I think it's metal. It could be fiberglass. I think it's fiberglass. There's a little rubber knob on each end, and there's a string. It's like a nylon string that the cats don't chew through, which is nice. And there are some feathers attached to it. And this is drugs. This is crack to a cat, particularly Eleanor. She is she's looking at it over my shoulder. She sees me with it and she's like, Eleanor is a very playful cat. She is very playful. And she gets bored very easily, which is really sad. But I had one of these. They destroyed it. So I got 2 of these. Let me hold on for a moment. I want to show you the package of this one. All right, I'm back. It's a company called Go Cat. And I got this on Amazon. I'll put a link in the description box. I got it on Amazon. It's a thin metal rod with that feather, a little fluff of feathers attached, and it's a little weight to it, and you just flick it like a fishing pole, and the cats lose their minds. They lose their minds. And each of these is like $9, and that might sound a lot for a stick and some feathers, but it is so worth it. I got 2 of them because they destroyed one. I'll have this one as a backup. So the cats and I have been having a lot of fun with this one, and there's a crinkly mylar pom-pom that is on a different one that they love. But so I got those today from my P.O. box, but I found 2 cards at my P.O. box as well. One has been there for a little while, according to the postmark, but Amy sent me this card. I want a kitten so bad. I can't. I'm a member of a Facebook group, just one, I promise, for cats. And a lot of people have newborns and kittens. And apparently the mortality rate for kittens is pretty high. I didn't know this. But, you know, they'll post about their kittens dying after posting super cute pictures of baby newborn kittens. And I can't handle the crying anymore. So I don't think I could ever have a kitten. I have 3 cats, that's plenty. But Amy, that was from Amy. She sent me, there was a little bit of money in there as well. Thank you, Amy. So on the way back home today from the post office box, I stopped off at Vaughn's and I picked up 2 big containers of kitty litter and some cat food. And did Dan, is it Dan? Oh my, Dean, thank you, sent me a whole box of little Sheba, those little things that snap in half. Sent me a whole box of those. My cat, Buddy, will lick the gravy. The other 2 cats, the girls won't even get near it. Buddy will lick the gravy. So I've been using that to supplement what I feed Diana. Because my cats just aren't doing it. They are not liking it. They're very particular. So thank you for Dean, and thank you, Amy, for feeding my babies. I appreciate it. And then I got a card from Mrs. BS. Now you'll remember Mrs. BS because I mention her frequently. She sends me cards all the time, and they make me happy. This one, just checking in on you. This was, and both cards were little ways of knock, knock, knock. Are you okay in there? Because we haven't seen you. And I've received some emails and some messages from Daniel and Linda and Barb and who else? Amy and a whole bunch of people. Linda. So thank you guys for checking in on me. The past 2 weeks have been really lonely, really bad. The cats bring me so much solace, but there's something missing. What else? Oh, bow tie. I want to do a little update. This is a longer video than I thought it would be. I want to do a little update about bow tie. About 2 weeks ago, my neighbor Shireen caught bow tie. She's been feeding him for longer than I've been feeding him. And he feels comfortable climbing into her car. He jumps into her car because she feeds him there sometimes. And so she put food into a big crate, a carrier, a pet carrier, and she caught him. Now there's a guy, Joe, his business card is very rustic, so it's not very sophisticated, but it's charming in its way. Vegas Cat Rescue. It's one guy. It's printed. It looks like a Sharpie. It probably was a Sharpie. His name is Joe. You can pause that right there. I know my nails are too long, but if you're in the mood, not a commercial for Joe, but I'll tell you, he's doing a good job. If you ever want to take care of somebody, he has a Facebook, Vegas Cat Rescue, and I think he takes donations. Joe he captures cats, stray cats, and he takes them to a vet. He is charged something. He's not charged a lot. They give him a significant discount, but it's not for free. Joe takes the cats to 2 local vets that are open right now. One more than the other. I can't remember the name of the place. Bonanza? And they take care of the cats and do what has to be done. You remember recently I told you Odin passed away. He died. He had to be put to sleep. If you know what an abscessed tooth feels like, his entire jaw was like that. He was in extraordinary pain 24/7. And so he was put to sleep. They captured Bowtie about 2 weeks ago. And I was getting very nervous. I wanted to tell you that he was captured a couple weeks ago, but I wanted to know what happened to him before I shared that with you. So he went to the vet. I think it's called Bonanza or something. Apparently he has to have a whole bunch of teeth removed because his teeth were the problem. He was so skinny, not because of worms, but because he was in so much pain that he couldn't really eat. So he was eating a lot when I fed him the wet food, but he was just starving for food. I think that dry food must have been too painful for him to eat. So Joe took Bowtie to Bonanza. He had the teeth removed. He's recovering from that and his neutering. And to my knowledge, Shireen, my neighbor, is going to try and take Bowtie in as a house cat. I don't know how she's going to do that, because she has 6 cats in a small 1-bedroom. And she lets them all out and in when they want to, out of an open window. So I don't know how she can keep Bowtie indoors, but I can't have him in my house. So worst case, if he stays outside, and hopefully the 2 of us can sort of pitch hit, because I'm gone a lot when I'm working. I can't feed him wet food all the time. I'm hoping she will. That's my hope. But so Bowtie is being taken care of. I know a lot of you have contacted me about Bowtie. Unemployment. So I applied for unemployment. It made me kind of nauseous to apply for unemployment. It really did make me nauseous. I just never wanted to apply for unemployment. It's just not something I wanted to do. But because I did volunteer to take May off, my company paid me 36 hours for the month. That's not really a lot to live on, so I did apply for unemployment. And because we were reduced in force, I was allowed to apply. I got $634 on my little debit card that they give me. And I think that was the $600. I think the $34 is what I really got for my unemployment benefit, because I claim 9 hours a week for unemployment of pay. So I claim that I do get some income. So the difference between the amount of money they were going to give me total and what I made by that 9 hours is like $34 or something. So that's what I get. I think I screwed something up this last time, because we have to apply each week for that prior week. And I think I messed up something. So I don't think I'm getting anything this week, because I think I told them I wasn't physically able to work. I don't know. But I'll fix that next week, or try to appeal that. I don't know. But I did apply for unemployment. I did get it. Some of my coworkers didn't get unemployment. They may live in states where it's harder. I don't know. But I am grateful for that. That, in addition to any savings, any money that I've received from subscribers, any gifts that I haven't used for the cats. I do have like a $300 fund, a little savings account that I had put aside for the cats in the event that they need some medical things taken care of. If I have to dip into that later on in the summer or early fall, I will if I have to. I don't know. But I have a little bit of money saved up. I have rent covered through the fall. So I think June, July, and probably August, I'm fine. So the next 3 or 4 months, I should be okay. My fear is being furloughed. That's my big anxiety, is that today the company did a live meeting on Microsoft Meetup, or whatever they call it. And I heard one of our executives talk about plans. They couldn't tell us anything specific. They couldn't give us any hard and fast plans, because they're still working on the fly. But you know, the idea is that we potentially could be a smaller airline come October or November, when things, when all the CARES Act passes and is over. So we could be a smaller airline. It's not off the table that they could potentially reduce our number of bases. That could be something you could do. They could furlough a lot of us. So I don't know what's going to happen. So I should be fine at least until the fall, and then we'll see what happens. I'm going to have to, just for giggles, I'm going to work on my resume this summer, just in case I have to try and find something. I don't know what I could do. I'd have to go to the Strip and work at one of the hotels. I doubt that Saks is going to be hiring. Neiman's is really struggling right now. I think they're going to go bankrupt, but I don't know if Saks will ever need help again, so I don't know what I can do. All right, last topic. I had notes to work from to make this a really concise video. Didn't work, but as usual. So June, my schedule for June. Now I could have bid for voluntary time off like I did in May. I did not do that. I chose not to do that. Mostly because I don't think I could have survived another month of this. No, I just couldn't do it. Just even being on reserve, if I'm on reserve, at least there's that. The small chance that I could actually go out and just get out of the house and do something. And I miss my job. I love my job. I miss my job. I miss my passengers. I miss my coworkers. And we have things set up on board the aircraft when I do get on the plane, or our passengers get on the plane. We have done things to help make sure that the environment is as safe as possible. So I won't feel too unsafe. It's going to be safer to be on that plane for me than it is to go to the grocery store. So I'm not too afraid to go back to work right now. But I just don't think I could survive another month of this apartment. I really can't. The challenge is, while a majority of my coworkers did take June off, in my base, we have 700, I don't know, well over 700 flight attendants. We have 718 or something flight attendants in Las Vegas. Everybody except for 156 took voluntary time off in June. So there's 156 of us that are available to work in June. The challenge is, while there's usually hundreds and hundreds of lines, right now there are 13 lines for June. 13 lines for June. Yeah, and one of those is a chaser line where there's just one person on the schedule. So there's 12 lines that have at least 3 flight attendants on each pairing. So 12 times 3 is 36, plus that one chaser line. So there's 37 potential flight attendants that will receive a schedule for June. Everyone else is going to be on reserve. I am number 58 in base. So there's this much of a chance that I will actually get a line. Probably not. I'll most likely be on reserve. And I just never thought I'd be on reserve again. It took a pandemic to get me on reserve. So I bid for, of course, for all the lines available to bid for. I don't think we have any, so I bid for all the lines. And then I bid for reserve, and I bid for most of the reserves just to be safe. The reserve notification period for us, that means 10 hours. I chose I bid for notification period. Is it C? I forget which one it is, but it's 2 p.m. to midnight. So it's my hope is that if I'm on reserve, and I think I bid right because they make it kind of confusing, I bid for a reserve notification that's from 2 p.m. to midnight. And I chose that notification period instead of my usual B. When I was on reserve, I preferred B, which is when they can call me from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. It was great because I could sleep until 7 and know by 5 that they couldn't call me again. But typically, my cat, because everything revolves around a cat. My buddy goes out of the house. He likes to go for his walk in the morning, and that's usually about 5:30, 5:45 in the morning. So if I bid for B, there was just no chance he would go out and I would have him back in the house in time if I had to be called for work. So I bid for a notification period that would have me, and I think it's C. I think it's C. That it means that I would have the whole day off until 2 p.m. So Buddy can go out and do his thing, come back in the house and be in the house comfortably and safe. If I get called for work, I can then go to work knowing that he at least had his chance to go outside and do his thing. And right now, the schedule for June is all turns. So I'll fly from Vegas to Houston and Houston back to Vegas. So worst case, if I am on reserve, I won't have a surprise 3 or 4 day trip. More than likely, it'll be a 1 day trip. They are meeting with the executive team today on Microsoft, whatever they call it. One of them implied that we would have potentially more lines available in June. So that potentially means layovers in June, but probably not our regular 3 or 4 day trips. So that's it. Here's a real long rambling video about, I don't know what I said. So if you have any questions for me about what's going on, professionally and personally, whatever, leave a comment below and I can maybe put together another question and answer video for something next week. I've got 2 more weeks off. God help me. Yeah, there you go. And I will talk to you guys later. All right, fly safe.